The steam locomotive. Such an iconic piece of the story of America and its history. While many have gone their whole lives just seeing these machines in the pictures of history books, those who have seen them alive and under steam will never forget it. In an era of railroading where shareholder interest seems to triumph over history, seeing these American iron horses stretch their legs on Class 1 main lines has become a rare occurrence. Although after a year and a half of quarantining, mask wearing, and Zoom meetings, the Union Pacific Railroad would be bringing steam power back to the main line. And this just isn't any steam locomotive, we're talking about the largest steam locomotive ever built. Starting on August 5th, 2021, the mighty 4884 Big Boy locomotive number 4014 set out from Cheyenne, Wyoming to begin another tour throughout the Union Pacific system. This would be the first time since late 2019 that the 4014 would be putting on a show for locals and rail fans alike. After weeks of watching other people's videos and viewing their photos, it was finally our turn to chase the mighty locomotive. On August 23rd, we'd be meeting with the Big Boy in the town of Bunkie, Louisiana. So sit back and enjoy Union Pacific Big Boy number 4014, the trek through Louisiana. Bunkie is a small town with not too much in it, but the railroad presence, it's there. Along with the Union Pacific's Alexandria subdivision, the Acadiana short line interchanges just up the road. Even an hour before the arrival time, the crowds have already surrounded the depot in anticipation. UP actually sent a bit of a tease through town. A northbound grain train has the crowds rushing towards the tracks. As modern diesels rolled by though, you could see the disappointment in a lot of faces. The 4014 departed from Addis, Louisiana at 8 a.m. Today's trip will begin there and end in Hollywood Yard located in Shreveport. The excursion is taking the former route of the Texas and Pacific Louisiana Eagle passenger service. In fact, the depot in town is of T&P heritage. With our cameras set up, town citizens and rail fans who have been chasing for several hours now begin to roll in to prepare for the Big Boy's grand entrance. Around 11:15 in the morning, the echo of 4014's whistle is heard in the distance and the show is about to begin. While the locomotive is stopped on display, we see Ed Dickens and his steam crew servicing the locomotive. The 4014 was among 25 Big Boy locomotives built in 1941. Being delivered in the month that the United States entered World War II, it would serve the Great Big Rollin' Railroad for 2 decades before eventually being retired in December 1961. During its 20 years of hauling cargo, it would log in well over 1 million miles. It would then find its new home at the Rail Giant Museum in California. In 2013, it would return to Cheyenne for its restoration and would have steam running through it once again in 2019. With its massive 2 sets of 68-inch drivers, the Big Boy's tender could also hold up to 25,000 gallons of water, and back before being converted to an oil burner, it held 56,000 pounds of coal. For a more detailed look into the specifications of 4014, be sure to give a look at Union Pacific's website. Set up just north of town in an endless sea of agricultural fields, it is high noon and 4014 is making its way northward. In Alexandria, the train had to make an unscheduled stop in which the steam crew would work on an injector issue. This would be the first of a few setbacks for the 4014 during our chase. But we'd utilize this stop to jump ahead on I-49. Here we see the 4014 making decent speed north of Alexandria. Closing in on the next display stop at Natchitoches, Big Boy rounds the corner in Cypress. While it is overshadowed for several reasons, the diesel locomotive helper is unique as well. EMD SD70M number 4015 was given a little bit of a paint job upgrade. You'll notice the green on top of the nose similar to the classic UP passenger locomotives, along with the trucks being painted silver to match the passenger consists. Nothing too major, but I appreciate UP's eye when it comes to the detail. Coming in the Natchitoches for its next 45-minute stop, we set up near the Mill Street and South Jefferson intersection. While prepping for the chase, this was the shot I wanted the most. In 2019, we didn't get an opportunity to film the articulation in action up close. Now we'd have that chance with a solid industrial scene making up the background. 4014 actually had to make another unexpected stop in Westdale. We were actually just set up north of there. The locomotive was running low on water and the local fire department had to fill it up. While I'm still finding out all the details while I'm making this video, I believe 4014 put Livonia in a bit of a pickle with the amount of water the locomotive needed, so they refused to let it stay the second night. This caused for issues down the line, as you can see, but the issue was solved and 4014 could continue northward in the final stretch to Shreveport. After an 11-hour day steaming through Louisiana, we see the 4884 arriving into Hollywood Yard in Shreveport, Louisiana. Here it will stay until Wednesday morning when it makes way into Arkansas. Before concluding this video, I just want to give a huge thank you to the men and women that make these excursions possible. I cannot imagine the amount of work it takes to not only operate and maintain the big boy, but also the planning it takes to organize these tours. Ed Dickens and his dedicated steam crew, as usual, put on an excellent show for the people of Louisiana. I can't explain how much of a thrill it was to be chasing steam on the main line through the state I call home. It's certainly a day I will not forget anytime soon. Now I hope that all of you enjoyed watching the video as much as I did making it. Leave a like down below if you liked what you saw, share it with some friends, and maybe even subscribe if you haven't already. Until next time, I'll see you somewhere out there along the train tracks, and as always, thanks for watching.